Our gorgeous MC for tonight. Can we give her a big round of applause? You know, I cannot withstand the energy that she has right now. Am I correct? And of course, this leader, she is one of the leader that I will never ever forget. Why? Because me and her is from the same hometown, from Rizal. So I was quite surprised that there are a lot of people in this room who is from Rizal. Am I right? You're from Amona Rizal, am I right? And I am from Binangonan Rizal. So, and also, of course, this leader is one of the proactive leader that I can say, because whenever there's an opportunity that's given to her, definitely she is one of the women that will never say no for us. You know, words can express how much I wish to stood up on the stage of Wellbeing Manila, because I believe it's quite some time since the last time that I stood up here. Am I right? Yeah. Because as you all know, in the previous weeks, or I should say the previous days, that we have, of course, we have a tons of events, am I right? And we had just had a date with the general manager, am I right? And of course, the testimonial events that we had, not just in Manila, of course, but to other branches as well. And you know, based from these experiences and based from these events that happened, I tell you, it is one of the moments that I will never ever forget here in Wellbeing as a business development. Why? Because I can say it is very exhausting, to be honest, because since there are a lot of events, not just here in Manila but to other branches as well, of course there will be a lot of preparations for us business development. So it is very tiring, going one branch to another, flying here, flying there, of course very exhausting. But I tend to realize, because the moment I experience this, you know, opportunities, I tend to realize that here in Wellbeing, in order for you to gain something, you have to lose something first. Am I right? Yes. But what did I lose? Of course, first and foremost, I lost 8 hours of sleep. I lost a lot of energy the moment I came across these events that happened. But what did I gain from the brighter side? I gained a lot of, you know, opportunities. What kind of opportunities? Opportunities to be able to attend to each and every testimonial event from Manila, Davao, Cebu, and Cagayan de Oro. Opportunities to meet different leaders coming from these branches. And of course, the opportunity to be one of the speaker of a testimonial event. For the very first time, I presented the OPP in thousands of people in Cebu. Now, why am I sharing you this? It's not something to brag about, am I right? But I just tend to learn and realize that here in Wellbeing, if you just have this dedication, if you just have this willingness to do something or to achieve a big goal, definitely if you have something like that, then I can guarantee you that Wellbeing will give it to you 100%. Am I right? Yes. Of course, just like you, to all the first-timers, I was once a first-timer as well. You know, sitting there, watching the events, and I just had this one vision that someday I will be up on that stage in front of a lot of people. And it's because of Wellbeing. Wellbeing gave me that dream. Wellbeing made me experience that kind of opportunity. And it all started from a vision. And once again, can we give Wellbeing a big round of applause? But of course, as you can notice to all the first-timers, may I see the first-timers who are in this room? Can you raise your hands, please? Okay, leaders, can we give them a big round of applause? As you can notice, earlier we had our leader sharing, am I right? And in that leader sharing, there are some speakers or there are some leaders who stood up on the stage and tell their journeys here in Sagiri, am I right? But this time it will be quite different, because earlier, if we are focusing about the journeys of the leaders here in Wellbeing, this time, this session, we will be focusing the importance of our health. But the question is, are you all ready and excited? Yes! Okay, but before that, of course, maybe you would just give me a time to formally introduce myself. Is it okay? Yes! So my name is Jaime, and I am one of the business developments of Wellbeing Philippines. And you know, they call me ever since I am the EJ Falcon of Wellbeing Philippines. Yeah! But of course, kidding aside, did you miss that line, leaders? Because I always say that whenever I'm up on the stage, but of course, kidding aside, one thing that I know that once you are a member here in Wellbeing, automatically you are handsome and definitely you are beautiful. So once again, leaders, can you give yourselves a big round of applause? And to start off, of course, I just have a question to the first-timers here in this room. Do you exactly know the reason why you are here? Or do you know the reason why have you been invited? Well, if you're going to ask me, definitely I know one thing is for sure. I know that you have been invited to be in this event tonight because there is someone who truly cares about your health. And who is that someone? Well, it's no other than the person who invited you. So with that, can you give the person who invited you a round of applause? So do you think health is important? Yes. Do you think health should be our priority? Yes. Definitely, yeah. So in that case, when was the last time that you went to a doctor to have your medical checkup? 2 months? Can we give her a big round of applause? 2 months? How about the others? 1 year? Maybe some of you 6 months ago, maybe some of you 9 months ago, or some of you a year ago. But do you believe or do you agree that whenever we are seeing our doctor, this doctor will keep telling us and will keep reminding us that your body needs these vitamins, you should be drinking a lot of water, and you should be exercising for 30 minutes to 1 hour a day. Am I correct? Yes. And in fact, even when we are still young, even when we are just kids, we often hear these kinds of words already. Most especially from my case, in my part, because of course I have my mom who constantly reminds me of how important it is to take care of my health. You know, I can always remember, and I will always remember when she was like, Jaime, eat these vegetables, these carrots are good for your eyes. Jaime, drink these vitamins, it will actually help you to grow taller. Jaime, before you go outside and play, put this towel in your back. And I know that most of us, or I could say all of us, experienced that as well when we were younger. Am I correct? Yeah. Because our parents are very concerned and very protective enough to their child's health. Am I right? Because if we won't be taking care of our health, we might get one of these top 10 killer diseases. And these top 10 killer diseases are based from the World Health Organization that was published last September of 2022. And it was also came from the 74% death rates of human population all around the world. So just try to imagine, ladies and gentlemen, 74%. And I could say that's clearly a huge percentage, am I right? But among these top 10 killer diseases that you are seeing right now on this white screen, I would just like to emphasize one from this. Could you all help me read the number 6? Diabetes. Again, number 6? Diabetes. Why diabetes? But before that, as you all know, in the previous edition, because currently we are in the 7th edition, am I right? In the 6th edition, diabetes is ranked number 8. But now since we are in the 7th edition, diabetes is ranked number 6. So meaning to say, here in Leeway International, leaders are not just the ones who are experiencing ranking ups, but also different diseases. So from being top 8, now diabetes is top 6. So with that, can we give diabetes a big round of applause? But of course, kidding aside, now, why diabetes? Because diabetes is actually one of the most common diseases that we have here in the Philippines. Why? Because we Filipinos love to eat rice, am I right? And in fact, even the fast food chains or some other restaurants already adapted to our culture, wherein they have already added this so-called unlimited rice, am I right? Unlimited rice, am I right? And do you agree that whenever we do have friends or relatives that be coming home from abroad, of course some of us or most of us tends to ask for chocolates, pasalubongs, sweet foods, and many more. Because we Filipinos love to eat sweets as well, am I right? And you know, ladies and gentlemen, every time that I will be hearing the word chocolate, I will always remember this one particular story of a very well-established family. And this family is a very well-established one. It consists of a father who is an engineer, a mother who is an architect, and they have a son, and they have a daughter. So basically, if you would be looking at this family, you could just simply say that this family is an ideal one, am I right? And since they are very wealthy, since they are very rich, of course they love to go on the travel, wherein they would always go to the top destinations of each and every country. They would always dine in the most expensive restaurants, ordering everything from the recommendations. And since they are very wealthy, they can easily afford to stay in the most exclusive beach resorts all around the globe. Now, if you would be looking at this family, you could just simply say, wow, this family is simply living their life to the fullest. But not until one day, this father in this story felt something wrong with his body. So of course with that, he immediately went to a doctor to have his medical checkup. And guess what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Well, the father in this story got diagnosed with diabetes. But since he has the money, since he is very wealthy, he still continued living his life to the fullest. Not until one day, this father in this story, his leg got amputated. But still, he still continued living his life to the fullest. Like nothing happened at all. Until one day, this father in this story got bedridden. Now, if you are the wife, seeing your husband lying in bed, hopeless, or let's just say that you are one of his kids, the son or the daughter, one day you can do anything. One day you can travel anywhere. One day you can buy anything that you want. But one day, you see your father lying in the bed, hopeless. So the question is, do you think that this family in the story will still have a happy ending? No, right? But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just simply talking to one among these top 10 killer diseases. And of course, when I say top 10, meaning to say that there are still a lot of diseases that we could get. So that is why we should always be careful and we should always be mindful, most especially to the factors that could lead us to these kinds of diseases. And what are those factors, ladies and gentlemen? First one is the aging population. Every day we grow old, am I right? But I want to ask you this. How long do you think the average lifespan of the people living from 80 years ago? Do you have any idea? 100, right? Some of them could live up to 80, 90 years, or some are even lucky enough to live for 100 years. But who do you think can live longer? Is it them? The people from 8 years ago, or us? 8 years ago, am I right? Why? Because right now, we are in a very busy lifestyle. We are currently living in a fast-paced world that if you aren't fast enough, there's a tendency that you might get left behind. And that is the reason why we love to go to fast food chains, eating instant foods. That could lead us to the second factor, which is wrong diet. But you know, it isn't just about this aging population or this wrong diet. Simply because we also have this so-called inevitable stress or the unavoidable stress. So maybe I can give you an example or a scenario for this one. Is it okay? Yes. So just try to imagine yourself. There's this one morning you woke up from bed. Of course, you open your eyes, you stretch your body, then you stand up and you look into your side, and then you see your partner. Wow, very, very stressful, am I right? But kidding aside. Well, let's say you go down from your living room or your sala, then you see your refrigerator. There's a lot of, due dates or unpaid bills. Very, very stressful, am I right? When you are so hungry, and then the moment you open your refrigerator, then there's no food. Very stressful, am I right? Going here in this office, do you experience traffic? Yes. Traffic is very, very common, am I right? So very stressful. And of course, I would say the typhoon last day. This week only, right? Very, very stressful, am I right? And I can say that there are tons of examples that I can give you for this inevitable stress, but those are the basic ones. But it isn't just again about this aging population, this wrong diet, and this inevitable stress, simply because we are also living here in Earth. And of course, by living here in Earth, we will be needing this air and this water, which is basically affected by pollution, which is another factor. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, despite all of the top 10 killer diseases, and despite all of the factors that I mentioned to you, of course, in life, there will always be a brighter side. And that is true. The recent medical science breakthrough, the discovery of stem cells. Now, stem cells are created when a mother and a father got very excited. In one night, the mother and the father got very excited. So in that tendency, of course, the tendency is not yet a baby, but of course, there's something that happened. And with that, it led us to, there are some people smiling, but kidding aside, of course, stem cells are created when a man's sperm and a woman's ovum, if they unite, it will now then form to become a mother cell. And this mother cell has the ability to duplicate itself to 1 to 2 cells, 3 to 5 cells, 6 to 8 cells, and so on and so forth, until it will now develop to become our heart stem cells, lung stem cells, intestinal stem cells, and many more parts of our body. And then after 9 long months, baby Jaime is now born in this world. The question is, what if we do have damaged cells? What if we do have damaged cells? Well, maybe I can give you an example for this one. So say for example, I have here a broken wooden chair. And then the question is, will I be able to fix this one using plastics? No. No, right? Will I be able to fix this one using metals? No. Some would say no, but some would say yes. But let me tell you this, it won't be fixed properly and it will not last any longer. Because the only thing that we should be using to be able to fix the broken wooden chair is by using the same material, which is wood, am I right? And that goes the same thing with our body. Of course, whenever we do have damaged cells, we will be needing to replace that one with some healthy cells. And this stem cells has the ability to unlimited possibility of treatment boundaries, and it was also been proven to have a miraculous abilities. But you don't have to worry, ladies and gentlemen, because all of the information that I'm telling you right now doesn't just came from me or from our company, Wellbeing International, but it was also came from different publishers, such as different newspapers, different journals, different magazines that feature the benefits of stem cells. Now, I want to ask you this. I just have a question. Are there any people in this room who is familiar with Time Magazine? Are you familiar with Time Magazine? Yes. For those people who don't know, Time Magazine is actually one of the most popular magazines of all over the world. Now, I want to ask you this. If you were the owner of the Time Magazine, would you publish something that is not right? No. Would you publish something that could ruin your reputation? No. Definitely not, right? Because we will only publish something that goes years and years of research until it was finally proven. Am I right? Yes. So maybe, Jaime, okay, maybe stem cells are good. But Jaime, how can we get these stem cells? Well, I'm going to show you different methods to be able to get these stem cells. And starting off with the first one is what we call the placenta injection in Switzerland. Now, before undergoing this kind of method, of course, we will be needing to fly from the Philippines, going to that particular country, Switzerland. And once we arrive in that country, of course, we will be needing to think of our hotel accommodations, to think of our food, our transportations, and of course, the hospital bills. And do you think that is cheap? No. Very, very expensive, am I right? But don't worry, we still have another option. And this time, it is the same. It is also a placenta injection. But this time, it is in a beauty salon. But before undergoing this kind of method, how sure are you that the people who will be doing this kind of method are professionals or even have the license to do it? How sure are you that the stem cells that are going to be injected to you are still alive? And how sure are you that this method is 100% safe? Am I right? Well, I might leave that conclusion and confusion to you as we move along to another method. And this time, this is what we call the stem cell transplant. So for this stem cell transplant, maybe I can give you an example or a scenario for this one. So say for example, I am currently driving my car and then suddenly, along the EDSA, I got into a huge accident. Boom! And with that accident, I found out that my right arm got separated from my body. Now going to the hospital, you know, doctors could easily reconnect my skins, my tissues, or even my bones. But the doctors will be having a hard time to reconnect my nerve cells. So to be able to do that, doctors will have to extract some stem cells from my backbone and inject it directly to the affected area. But to be able to do that successfully, doctors will have to make sure that the stem cells are still alive, am I right? Otherwise, it will be pointless. So to be able to do that successfully, doctors will have to prevent the use of anesthesia. Jaime, that's very, very painful. Yes, I know it's very painful. I could say it's more painful than my breakup last year. Of course, kidding aside, I'm single since birth, don't worry. But of course, kidding aside, it is very extremely painful, I tell you, because it has no anesthesia. But don't worry, we still have another option. And right now, we are now arriving to the exciting part. Now, question is, who among in this room wants to have free stem cells? Can you raise your hands, please? Free stem cells, can you raise your hands? Sino pong may gusto? Of course, all of us wants to have free stem cells, am I right? But before having that free stem cells, I just have a questions first. Who among in this room could sleep 8 to 10 hours a day? Can you raise your hands, please? Who among in this room could drink 8 to 12 glasses of water a day? Okay, there are some. Who among in this room could exercise for 30 minutes to 1 hour without rest? Okay, there are some people. Last question. Who among in this room could live a stress-free life? Okay, so meaning to say no free stem cells for you guys. I'm so sorry. But what I'm trying to say is that to be able to have a free stem cells, of course, we need to maintain a very healthy lifestyle. Am I right? But in our case, I think it would be very much difficult, or it would be quite difficult for us to maintain that kind of lifestyle. Am I right? So, okay, no free stem cells for you. I'm so sorry. Maybe next time when you join again here in a company event, maybe that time I can give you your free stem cells personally. So is it okay? Yes. So you promise you will be coming back in this company event? Yes. Alright, that's what I love in Manila. Can you give yourselves a big round of applause? Now going back, of course, we still have another option. Don't worry, we still have another option. And this is what we call the cord blood banking. And this cord blood banking is very famous in the country of Singapore, wherein it requires a mother giving birth to her child. Now, what if the doctor told you that the umbilical cord, which is filled with a lot of stem cells, will only last for 20 years? Now, what if the child or the mother gets an illness after 21 years? Do you think that the stem cells will still be effective? Definitely no, right? But don't worry, we still have another option. And right now, we are arriving at the adult stem cells banking. Well, maybe for this one, I can give you an example again. So say for example, I am currently 60 years old right now. But due to the factors that deteriorates my body already, my doctor told me that my stem cells are 20 years older than me. So how old do you think my stem cells would be that time, knowing that I am 60 years old? 80. How many? 80, am I right? So do you think that the stem cells by that time will still be effective? No. Definitely not. But I miss, if there are no better options for this one, is there any convenient, effective, and affordable way? Well, of course there is. And this is through the oral capsule modern technology. You know, in the 6th edition, because again we are in the 7th edition, am I right? In the 6th edition, we only have 5 modern technology that time. But now in the 7th edition, we don't just have 5, but now we have 6 modern technologies. Now, starting off with the first one and the newest one is what we call the supercritical extraction. So what is this technology is all about? Well, this technology actually extracting the stem cells from the placenta while separating it from its components while maintaining for it to be alive. Because again, whenever we want to extract some stem cells, of course we have to make sure that the stem cells are still alive. Otherwise it will be useless. Am I right? And to be able to do that successfully, this is the technology that is needed. The supercritical extraction. Next one is what we call the freeze-drying technology. So this technology actually helps, it requires a special freezer to be able to preserve the quality of the stem cells that is good for 3 to 4 years. Next one is what we call the nitrogen-filled technology. For this technology, it actually helps to prevent oxidation inside the capsule. So what is oxidation? Maybe I can give you an example for this one. So, say for example, I have here an apple in my hand, and then I decided to cut this apple in half. And then after leaving that apple for several minutes, what do you think would happen to the apple? It will turn brown, am I right? And that is oxidation. And that is the one being prevented by this third technology. Next one is what we call the enteric coated technology. So this actually helps to withstand the acid inside our stomach. Because as you all know, our stomach can only consume up to 20% of nutrients. But once it reaches our small intestines, it will now boost up to 80%. Next one is what we call the emulsification technology. So this actually helps to break down the larger molecules into the tiniest version as it can be, so that the nutrients will even grow inside the smallest veins in our body. And last and definitely not the least is what we call the biosoft gel technology. So this technology actually helps to have a better and faster nutrition absorption inside our body. And ladies and gentlemen, by combining these 6 modern technology, Wellbeing International have finally created the Purtier Placenta 7th edition. Can you give me a round of applause? Most of you are wondering, most especially for the first timers, what is placenta? Huh? Placenta? What do you mean? Where does this Purtier placenta came from? Well, it actually came from a doe. And doe is a female deer. And you know, deers are believed to have a humane soul because they have this ability to distinguish the good grass from the bad grass. That is why deers are considered to be one of the special and very clean animal, because it has a ability to distinguish that kind of things. Because say for example, when a deer accidentally ate a bad grass, what do you think would happen to the deer? The deer will immediately die because it has no gallbladder. And that is why, again, deers are considered to be one of the clean and very special animal. So most of you, the first timers, maybe you're thinking, so Wellbeing International is killing deers? Very scary, But let me tell you this, of course, Wellbeing International is not killing any deers. Wellbeing is just extracting the placenta from the newborn baby deer. But killing deers is a whole another story. So, the question is, right now, what makes this Purtier Placenta 7th edition very special compared to the previous editions? It is because of these clinically proven patented ingredients. And then again, in the 6th edition, leaders, do you still remember how many patent ingredients that we have in the 6th edition? Only one, am I right? But now in the 7th edition, we don't just have one, but we have 5 patent ingredients. So we will be very proud of this. Some of you are wondering or curious, what is patented or what is patent? Well, patent means that you are exclusively using an ingredient that no other company can use or no other people can use. So meaning to say, Wellbeing International is the only company that can use this kind of ingredients. No other company can use this company. And that's how powerful Wellbeing is. So can we give Wellbeing again a big round of applause? Starting off with the first one. First patent ingredient is what we call the Cervicenta. So this Cervicenta is the 100:1 deer placenta extract. Huh? Jaime, 100:1 deer placenta extract. That seems impossible, you know. Well, it's possible because of the technology that I mentioned to you earlier. You still remember the supercritical extraction? It's because of supercritical extraction that made this possible, the 100:1 deer placenta extract. So next one is what we call the Placenta, or the antler tip of the deer. Because as you all know, to those people who don't know, in the whole body of a deer, the body part of a deer that contains a lot of stem cells is on the antlers of a deer, or yung suway niya. Most especially at the very tip of that antler that contains a lot of stem cells. Now, next one is what we call the ginseng. And are you familiar with ginseng, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
Ginseng, right? Ginseng is actually one of the top Chinese immortality herbs. But what makes this ginseng very special compared to the usual ginseng that we know? It is because this ginseng was planted in the volcanic soil in the country of New Zealand. And of course, whenever we hear the country New Zealand, what are the things that comes into our minds?
Clean.
Very clean, am I right? Very clean, very fresh, non-pollution country, very green, milks, cows, and many more. That is why this ginseng is very special because it grew from the volcanic soil in the country of New Zealand, which makes it 150 times more effective than the usual ginseng that we know. And next one is what we call the axertone, or the antlers lindsay. And lindsay is also one of the top Chinese immortality herbs. And this axertone, it states there that antlers lindsay is one of the prized possession amongst all the lindsay. So to make it simple and concise, axertone is definitely, I could say, one of the best. And it's called antlers lindsay because based on its texture, it looks like the antlers of a deer. But basically, this patent ingredient is a mushroom. Now, last and definitely not the least, I know that some leaders here are already familiar with this one, am I right? Is what we call the nucleoclaven, or the white strawberries that came from Awaji Islands of Japan, am I right? And some benefits that we can get from this nucleoclaven, or this white strawberry, is antioxidation, anti-inflammation, and even anti-tumor, and many, many more. Now, for this one, for this next slide, I have another question first. Again, why do we need health supplements? Because health supplements helps our body to protect, to recover, and to lower the three highs. Any one of you are familiar with three highs? First one is high blood, high cholesterol, and high sugar. Am I right? Now the question is, who among in this room wants to be healthy? Can you raise your hands, please? Am I right? All of us wants to be healthy, am I right? So are you willing to take 20 to 30 capsules each and every day?
No.
Huh? No? Really, But I thought you wanted to be healthy. But of course, kidding aside, even I myself find it very impossible to intake that kind of much of capsule. But do you think all of this ingredient can input into one capsule only? Yes. Definitely, because with Purtier Placenta Standard, we have been able to input all of the benefit, including the regeneration, in one capsule only. Be able to protect, to recover, and again to lower the three highs, am I right? So in that case, for the next slide, I am now going to show you the overall ingredients of the Purtier Placenta 7th edition. In the previous edition, we have 14 ingredients, but now in the 7th edition, we don't just have 14, don't just have 15, but we have 16 ingredients in the Purtier Placenta 7th edition. Can we give you a big round of applause for that? Now I have a question. If I would be removing one from this ingredient, do you think that the product will still be effective? Yes? Yes, some would say yes, but some would say no. But maybe I can give you an example for this one. And to tell you something about the business developments. You know, there's this one dish that we really like, and that is sinigang, of course. And there's this one time that all of the business development are planning to cook a sinigang. And of course, since I am the newest business development, I volunteered myself that I will be the one who will go to the grocery and buy all of the ingredients. And of course, I bought all of the ingredients and I went straight home. And that is the time they cooked the sinigang. But there's this one particular ingredient that I forgot to buy. And that is sampalok. But since it is already midnight by that time, of course I'm very tired, I'm very exhausted that time. So what I did is that we just decided to push through cooking that sinigang. So, the moment that we finish cooking the sinigang, do you think that the sinigang that we cook will still taste the same as the original sinigang? No! Definitely no, right? It will taste more like of a nilaga. And that goes the same thing with our product. Of course, every single ingredient plays a vital role to its own benefit to be able to protect, to recover, and the most favorite of all by the people inside Freeway, to reverse the aging process. Yes! So to those people who don't know, maybe I can differentiate reverse aging process to anti-aging process. Well, an anti-aging process is like slowing down your aging, am I right?
Yes.
So let's say you're currently 30 years old right now, but with anti-aging process, you tend to realize that you are slowly turning 31, you are slowly turning 32, you are slowly turning 33, which is great because it slows down the process, am I right? But with reverse aging process, I tell you, I am 30 years old, but why do I feel like I'm just 26? Because I got more energy. I am 30 years old, but why do I feel like I'm just 24? Because I got stronger. I am 30 years old, but why do I feel like I'm just 21? Because I can do better. And of course, I am 30 years old, but why do I feel like I'm just 18? Because I got younger. And that reverse aging process is one of the benefits that we can get from this Purtier placenta. So we can take the placenta to round of applause. Do I look 18? Just 25, you know. I just turned 25. But going back to the OPP, for the next slide, actually this next slide is very terrifying slide because it states there the leading causes of death worldwide in the year of 2019. But among these causes that you are seeing right now, I would just like to emphasize the top three. The cancer, the cardiovascular disease, and the respiratory disease. And you know what makes this slide even more terrifying? It's that whether we like it or not, it keeps happening every single day up until this point, am I right? Because it's already natural, right? But do you think we can kaya ba nating maiwasan yung mga diseases that we are seeing right now? Of course, right? And you know, it may sound cliche, ladies and gentlemen, but we should always agree in the saying that health is our wealth, am I right? And ladies and gentlemen, before I end my presentation, I just hope by this company event, most especially to the first timers, I just hope that with this company event or with this OPP presentation, it gave us a reminder even more on how important it is to take care of our health, am I right? And I just hope that once we exit right through that door later on, once this company event has ended, I hope that we can do now things differently. And I just hope that you would still continue living your life to the fullest while doing what is right. And of course, before I end my presentation, I would just like to thank each and every one of you, most especially to our first-timers, from staying since the leader sharing up until this point. And what I can say is that I'm really grateful and I really treasure this opportunity to be able to share again the stage with all of you here in Manila. And I just hope and I do believe that this will serve as your head start or your kickstart in this platform that we have here in the Leeway. And once you gain this head start, automatically I believe that it will create the biggest turning point in your life. Am I right? You just have to trust Freeway and let Freeway do the magic for you. So before I end my presentation, I have nothing more to say but to wish you good health, good fortune, and see you all at the top. Thank you so much.
Iba pala pag pogi ang nag-OPP. Tinitingnan ko kayo kanina, hindi kayo pumipikit. Grabe, nakagano'n. Next time daw, si Sir Ramon Ondo. Tawag mo yan. Pag may tumayo, lagot, diba? Ay, yes. O, kaya niyang i-explain how stem cell is made. Can you do that? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, palakpakan mo muna natin ang ating Jaime, You know what? That's the standard, ladies and gentlemen. Sa mga leaders natin, no? That's how the OPP is presented. And for the first time, no? However it is, sabi nga, later, no, after the product, you will hear more about what the product can do. Do you want to hear stories about... Yes. Effective ba yan? Totoo ba yan? But to give you a little bit of background, while BD Jaime was telling a story about the father who got diabetes, almost amputated, habang nililitan niya po niya yung kwento, pasikip ng pasikip yung dibdib ko. You know why? Because that's my mother. Yes. So parang mama ko yun Diba? Yung muntik na ma-amputate. But thankfully, I'm thankful for the person who shared Purtier to my family. We were able to skate to the brink of bankruptcy. We were supposed to be, dapat 1 million yung i-charge sa amin for chemotherapy and amputation. And I tell you, yes, reverse aging works because my mom at the age of 74 is even younger than her 71-year-old. So that's the beauty of that. But I'm not going to share the testimony. Mas matindi po ang mag-share ng testimony. Sino po dito ang may mga SSS? Lahat po ba may SSS? Okay. Lahat po ba SSS? Natatakot sumagot no? Pag sumagot, kulong. Okay. Samahan ng sobra 70. Sino po dito ang SSS? Ayan na, nagsitalo na yung mga kamay. Okay. So, hindi po siya, ano po siya, 60. Tama ba? 60. Okay. Pwede tayo samahan ng sobra 50. Pwede lang naman. Pwede samahan ng mga sobrang senior. Ay, okay. Talagang paano na yun, pasagad na. Okay, hukay na lang ang kulang. Okay, so, but kidding aside po, no, truly, yung ating next speaker po kasi, malayo po sa kanya yung SSS. Malayo po sa kanya. Lalo pa, pag nalaman nyo, her life. Sino po mga mothers dito? Can I have a raise of hand ng mga mother? Can you tell me, honestly, na hindi mahirap maging nanay? Hindi mahirap. Hindi mahirap.
Mahirap.
Baliktad But if you are a mother, in itself is already hard. How about being a single mom?
Yes, mas mahirap.
Okay? And I'm not yet done. How about being a single mom of 2 special children? Is she worth a hearing tonight? Yes! Do you want to hear her story?
Yes!
Ay, narinig akong cellphone kanina. May isa na ako. Kasi hindi ko nakita. Kaya nakalusot ka. Okay? But yes, true. Our next speaker tonight is a senior, but in her face, it's too far off, no? Hindi po siya mukhang senior. Pero what I admire about her is just what I told you. She's a single mom of 2 special children. And she will share her story tonight to us. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome our warmest welcome to Ma'am Annie Resurrection. Yan ang bang warmest.
Thank you very much, Miss Miss Hoxton. Thank you, RVD. Jaime, maraming salamat. I acknowledge to Miss Karen K, a very supportive leader, and to Miss Irene Santos Aplenco, and Miss Angela Binason. Maraming salamat, napaka-supportive po. Ako po ay isang biyuda, 11 years. Ang asawa ko po ay namatay ng kidney cancer. May dalawa po akong anak na espesyal. Pero tatlo po ang anak ko. Ang isa is 29 years old. Siya po yung nagtatrabaho ngayon. Manager po siya sa Western Marriott. Napakahirap po ng isang ina na ikaw ang ina, ikaw ang ama, tapos mayroong pang anak na espesyal. Ako po ay nagpapasalamat kay Lord dahil pinagkaloob niya sa akin at nakayanan ko po. Maraming salamat talaga kay Irene na napakakulit po sa akin na para pumunta dito, sumama, mag-attend po dito ng leader sharing. Ako naman ay sumasama sa kanya. Ngayon, nakain na po ako dito sa Railway. Maraming salamat dahil po mayroon po ang anak ko espesyal at saka ako din po. Kasi nung 2 years ago, ako po ay ang BP ko ay 160/108. Sabi ng doktora, huwag kang uuwi, ipapadala kita sa emergency para bumaba yung BP ko. Yun, sabi niya. Tatawagan ko na lang ang anak mo para malaman niya na nasa emergency ka. Ayun, sabi ko, Diyos ko, ano ba yan? Naglalakad lang po ako pa uwi. Sa Kainta po ako nakatira. Ako'y nagpapasalamat lahat. Napansin ko po na kaming tatlo taga-binangunan, si Sir Jaime, si Miss Hobson ay taga-Amono. Ako po taga-Kainta. Kami po yung mga taga-Rizal. Nabuhay ang mga taga-Rizal. Ayun po. Tsaka, yung pong nakatake po ako ng stem cell. Yung Purtier. Bumaba na po yung yung BP ko. Nag-100/70 na lang po ngayon. Thank you. Napakalaking pasasalamat ko. Malaking tulong po sa akin. Kasi mahirap yung high blood. Nag-iisa ako. Lahat ng trabaho akin. Lahat ng wala eh. Wala akong kasama eh. Wala na akong asawa. Talagang napakahirap. Sino po dito ang meron mga kamag-anak na espesyal? Ayun. Napakahirap po mag-alaga kasi hindi mo maintindihan. Minsan may nag-hyper sila. 41 years old na po ang anak ko. Pero nakapag-aral po siya ng high school. Pabalik-balik. Slow learner kasi siya eh. Napakahirap po kasi kailangan sundin mo kung anong gusto niya. Pag sinabi, gusto ko Jollibee, pipili mo. Jollibee McDo. Yun. Tsaka yung pangalawang yung naipit po yung kamay ko. Naipit ng sasakyan. Ang mga senior kasi, mahilig mag-outing. Sinasama ako. Pumunta kami ng Pangasinan. Naipit yung kamay ko sa sasakyan. Akala ko matatanggal na yung kuko ko kasi maitim na siya. Ako naman pag lumalakad, mayroon akong dala na Purtier. Ininuman ko siya ng isang capsule lang. Kinabukasan, wala na yung itim. O diba? Sabi ko, talagang napakagaling ni Purtier. At saka napakalaki ng tulong sa anak kong espesyal kasi pag sumasakit yung ulo niya, sabihin sa akin, Mama, may gamot. Alam na niya kung ano yung bibigay ko sa kanya. O sige na nga, sabi ko, bibigay ko na sa kanya yung isang capsule. O, okay na siya. Kaya napaka malaking tulong po sa akin, sa pamilya ko. At saka meron po akong pinapadalan sa probinsya namin. Taga-Samar po ako. Sinong taga-Samar dito? Western Samar po ako. May kaklase ako doon na may colon cancer. Siya po yung nagtitake ngayon ng Purtier. Tapos meron po akong mga binibigyan na may mga, sabi nila cancer daw yun. Nagtitake din po sila. Kaya marami po akong natutulungan. Sinishare ko po sa kanila. Sabi ko sa kanila, kailangan, malaki ang sabi na ni Sermon kanina, kailangan yung nasa puso ang nasa puso ang rewi. Malaki po ang heart ko. Sabi nga ng kapitana namin, saludo ako sa iyo, mami. Sabi niya gano'n. Kasi dalawa-dalawa yung akay kong anak na espesyal. Kahit saan ako magpunta, kasama ko yun. O umuwi ako ng Samar, kasama ko yun. Hindi ko iniiwan. Noon lang, nung pumunta ng Thailand. Pero, 66 na po ako. Hindi ko akalain na dito pala sa railway, dito matatatakan yung passport ko. Pagpasok ko sa immigration, nakita ko yung sa immigration, tinatakan. Sabi ko, ay, thank you, Lord. Sabi ko, di ba? Kasi 66 na ako, hindi ako sigurado na makakapag-abroad pa. May passport ako, pero paano ako makakaalis, di ba? Excited ko ito ako. Maraming salamat po dito sa Railway International. Nandito po ang aking puso sa Railway International. Kaya po, lahat ng nangangailangan sa amin, lahat ng may mga problema, sinishare ko po sa kanila. Para makatake sila, kung anong mga problema nila, kahit may stress sila, binibigyan ko. Kahit po yung pusa namin na hindi makalakad, opo. Yung pusa namin, kasi hindi siya makalakad, sabi ko mamamatay na ito. Ngayon ginawa ko, binigyan ko isang capsule, dinupit ko lang siya, tapos binuka ko yung bibig. Binigay ko sa kanya. Sabi ko sa kapatid ko, hawakan mo yung paa para hindi ako kalutin. Ayun, dinig ko. Kinabukasan, nakita ko lumalakad niya.
Pwede kasi sa
Malaking tulong po. Kaya nagpapasalamat po ako at nandito po ako sa Rio. Marami pa po tayong matutulungan. I-share lang po natin ang i-share.
Yes.
Kahit saan po sa buong mundo.
Mundo.
Hindi po ba? Oo. Kaya maraming salamat.
Yes po, palakpakan po natin si Ma'am Annie. Yes. Kalain mo yun pati pusa. Sa pusa sa pusa. Yes, meron po kami din sa team. Narinig ko po pusa. Ngayon narinig ko pusa. Last time narinig ko manok.
Manok.
Di ba? May manok. Analo sa sabong.
Panabong pampalakas.
Ay, iba na ito. Iba na. Yung isa namin ka-teammate, aso. Gumastos na siya ng 30,000 sa dun sa mamaya, Purtier lang pala. Sabi niya, pambira, napamahal ako dun Oo, totoo po. Hindi po, walang biro, totoo.
Ay, kanino?
Opo, pangalan nung nagsasabog daw manok. Okay. Grabe no, my heart is warm. Ma'am Annie, thank you so much for sharing. Looking at her, no? If nobody cared to share Purtier to her, she would still be in the house, controlling yung anak niya. Tama ba? No? And you might think, ay hindi, huwag na lang si Ma'am Annie kasi hindi niya kayang umabot pa ng bangko. Diba? You never know what's in it for a person until you give them hope. You never know. And I want to give you a word for hope for tonight. Hope. Nakuha ko lang, hiram ko lang din naman to. Holding on to God's promises every day. Yes. Every day as we live. Totoo. It's always we have actually. Sino bang guaranteed dito may bukas? Are you guaranteed of tomorrow? You know, but God's promises, my grace is new every morning. And you as the bearer of hope, you are the one that God will use to bring hope to many. Huwag natin sayangin, no? Huwag natin i-keep it to ourselves. So, kasi po ako, to be honest, kahapon po galing akong Fairview. You know why I'm sharing it to you? Because hope is something that is, hindi siya hope kung hindi siya nagre-radiate. Ang hope kasi bright, tama? Ang hope is, it's so bright that you can't hold on to it. You have to share it. So, I went to Fairview. Ang nag-share po sa akin ng Purtier is from Fairview. And one person opened his market and said, puntahan natin yung auntie ko sa Fairview. We are from Angono, Rizal. And Fairview is hindi po malapit yun. But then, why just a mere nag-open ng market? Yes, gusto mong tulungan, pero ang layo nun. And I said, what's my right to hold back that hope when someone from Fairview went to Antipolo to share Purtier to me? Tama? What's my right not to share Purtier and bring it back to Fairview? So, ngayon na narinig niyo yung hope, ngayon na may nalaman kayong something, it's your responsibility to share it to someone you know. Whatever, wherever, however. Alright? But then we still have one more. Kayo naman, feeling closing masyado. Okay, hindi kasi nilalamig na ako bago makaset ko. Saan kayo nakahanap? Oh, sabi ni Sir Ramon Hondo, tee up the office. Saan kayo nakahanap? 4 na centralized aircon na office. Kaya nyo? Oh, diba? Yan ang railway. Oh, lamigin kayo ngayon. O kaya dapat pump up the energy. Okay? Pump up. Alright, hep hep! Yun! Para lumabas ang lamig. Okay, our next testimonial for tonight. Sino po mga employed dito? Taas ang kamay. Ayan. She's also employed from Letran College. Okay? She's a bookkeeper by profession. She's married with 4 children. And why am I sharing it as plain as it is? Plain as it is, ha? Kasi minsan, pag employment, diba, feeling natin, morning, pasok. Pero alam nyo ba, hindi madali. Sino po mga employed dito? Anong oras ang gising? Anong oras yung uwi? Ilan oras yung biyahe? Mag-work pa kayo? No choice. No choice, no tawag ng pangangailangan. But I'm very proud to introduce her to you. Bakit? First time niya po mag-share. Wow. She knew Purtier since 2019 lang naman, di ba? So, nakaka-proud moment po ito sa kanya. And for me, to introduce her, no? She's none other than Ma'am Jaime Beronque.
Good evening! Thank you, Ma'am Emerald. Oh my God. Ayun, I'm Jaime Beronque, currently employed. A bookkeeper is a stressful, job. So, 2019, my friend introduced me this product, Purtier Placenta. Then, that time, invite dito rin. Tapos, siguro 1 OPP lang yung product na pinresent sa akin. Then, 2019, tapos meron kaming bowling. After ng bowling namin, di pa kami tapos, namanhid kasi yung left foot. So, nag-stop na ako for bowling. Kumbaga, hindi ko na natapos. Ngayon, ang sa akin is nag-check up, pero nagpa-ultrasound na rin ako. Kasi siyempre, I'm 50 yata noon. I'm already 56 years old. So, yun, ang nakita sa akin is meron akong cyst sa right ovary. So, yung na-introduce sa akin to at umaten ako ng OPP, parang trigger na sa akin na, siyempre, yung nag-testimony, ang dami, cancer, ako, yung iba doon, may mga cysts sa leeg, whatever. Ngayon, nung siguro 1 week after OPP, nag-decide na ako, naghanap ako ng paraan para matry ko na yung Purtier. So, nung 2019 October, tuloy-tuloy yun. Ang una ko na-experience sa Purtier is masarap ang tulog ko. Kasi 4 a.m., alis ko ng bahay. Kasi San Jose del Monte, Bulacan ako. 2 to 3 hours ang biyahe ko, 2 to 3 hours din pabalik sa traffic. Bookkeeper is in details, so very, very stressful talaga. So, feeling ko kasi parang nakuha ko yung stress. Yung ganong sakit na bukol, mga ganyan. Then, ayun, tuloy-tuloy. Tapos, siguro, at my age na yon, sabi ko, yung aking menstruation medyo, ano na siya, ano ba yan? Irregular, malakas na siya. So, ultrasound as babae, kung ano man ang laboratory, ganun ang ginawa sa akin. So, ang Purtier is maraming, yung Purtier placenta is maraming akong nakuhang benefit talaga. As in sobra. Yung aking sleep, kasi hindi ako makakatulog ng diretso Kasi, siyempre, inisip ko yung trabaho, yung aking sleep, yung aking constipation. Kasi, yung travel ko, di ba? Tingnan nyo, 2 to 3 hours yung papunta, 2 to 3 hours yung pabalik. Siyempre, alam niyo yun, di ba? Nasa biyahe ka, alangan ka naman na kung nararamdaman mo na may hindi ka naman pwedeng bumaba, mga ganon. So, nag-trigger na rin yung mga constipation. Pero nung sabi ko nga, nako, yung mga first timer dito talaga, Purtier placenta talaga is hindi lang yun ang pwedeng ma-improve sa inyo. Totoo yun. At saka, all-in-one. And thankful din kay Miss Engineer Mylene Amugis kasi siya yung motivate pa sa akin sa lahat ng system dito sa sa Leeway International. Ibang-iba ang Leeway International. Ako, sumasali ako sa mga daming food supplement kasi nga gusto ko is magkaroon ako ng discount para sa aking health, sa family ko, ganun ako pumapasok sa mga food supplement. Pero talaga, ang Leeway International is ibang-iba. Ngayon, ang isa ko pang i-testimony is yung mother ko. 80 years old, March 2021, nag-trigger yung vertigo niya. First time, nanginginig ako. First time yon, being nag-iisang babae dito, yung isa kong kapatid na sa ibang bansa, hindi na siya, kumbaga, parang naiinis siya, mama ko, kasi hindi siya makatayo, kakapit siya kung saan-saan. First time kasi. So, that time, meron pa ako, hindi pala 2021 na pala yon. So, ang ginawa ko, bumili ako ng isang bote kay Engineer Mylene Amugis. Isang bote lang yun, 1 week. 1 week lang niya iniinom yun. Tulog siya ng tulog. Di ba yung 81 years old, bihira na yung natutulog, di ba? So, yung pag-inom niya na yun, ang effect nun, ang benefit sa kanya is yung na okay yung sleep niya. Then, yung vertigo niya nag-okay. Pasalamat talaga tayo sa Purtier. As in talaga. Hindi ako nagbibiro o hindi ko kayo inaano, pero true. Totoong-totoo ito. Tapos yung kanyang, nagpa-doktor pala kami. Ang binigay na gamot is yung sinarisin. Yun, iniinom niya yun. Pero after 1 week, hindi ko na siya pinapainom kasi hindi na daw siya nahihilo. Ang isa pa is yung kanyang pag-iinom ng omeprazole. Sino may nun? Kilala yung tablet na yun? Every morning, before siya kumakain, umiinom siya nun. Then, pinainom ko siya ng Purtier na yun. Yun din. Nag-cure yun. Hanggang ngayon, hindi na siya umiinom ng sinarisin, omeprazole, hindi na siya umiinom. Yun. Tapos, sa akin po pala, so, yung aking sis pala is, natuloy din ako sa operation kasi sa aming sa school, meron kaming budget. Ginamit ko rin yun kasi, ang sabi kasi ng OB ko, at my age, pwede na daw, parang wala nang tutubuan ng ganyan-ganon. Totally, yun, ganun ang ginawa sa akin. So, ginawa ko naman yun during pandemic na yun 2020. Ang kagandahan nun, at umiinom ako ng Purtier is yung hiwa ko, ang bilis ma-cure. Kumbaga, nag-close siya kagad. Ang sabi ng OB ko, bakit ang bilis? Sabi niya ganun sa akin. Hindi ako na kumikibo kasi doktor yon. Pero talagang umiinom ako ng Purtier na yun. Siguro yun pa yung benefit sa akin. So yung mga first timer dito, ako ay nagpapatotoo na ang Purtier Placenta is all in na talaga. At meron pa akong friend sa Batanes na may problema ng lumbar degenerative. Hindi na siya makakatulog kasi sobrang sakit. Sa bote lang yun. Yun lang. Naayos yung kanyang lumbar degenerative. That's all. Thank you. Thank you, Jaime.
Ay, palakpakan naman natin. First time, grabe. Diba? Good. Yay! Congratulations! Grabe, no? Actually, marami pa yun. Totoo kasi 2019 pa siya eh. Dito po kasi sa Leeway, namimili ka na lang ng kwento. Sa totoo lang. Since 1 year. Pero yung best kwento kasi yung pamilya mo eh. Hindi mo na yung matatawaran eh. So, yun no? Okay pa ba tayo? Yes! Nilalamig po ba? Yes! Pero okay pa rin, tama? Okay. Hepe! Pero hindi hooray. Hindi na pa kayo eh. Pangatlo ko na to eh. Freeway! Hepe! Ayun! Okay. May ganun eh. Akala mo matanda eh. Okay. So, ginigising ko lang kayo, pinapainit. Okay? And, of course, hindi ko pa tatagalin kasi syempre alam ko, may mga nanay dito, may mga bahay, and you already have given up so much no since this morning. Sino po nandito ng 10 o'clock kanina? Yes, palakpakan naman natin. Grabe, diba? You have really committed today, Thursday, for our Leeway. That's commitment at its best, diba? Oo. At, single? Oo. Kawawa naman yung mga single, uuwi na. Malungkot silang uuwi. Yung mga double, yun ang masayang uuwi. Okay? Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're up to the closing speaker for tonight. And I don't want to hold it anymore kasi ako personally, to be honest, I'm really excited to hear them. Kasi nga first time ko silang maririnig. Ako kasi I'm really collecting stories and inputs because this is what the business is all about. It's about storytelling business. Okay? So we want to hear them. May mga po ba dito? Kapwa Cebuano from Cebu. Yes! Kana ba? Kana. From Cebu. Okay. Cebu yun. Okay. So our closing speaker, ay isang Cebuana. Diba? Bisaya John. Bisdak. Dili, Bisgam. Sayang gamay. Gamay Roman. Okay? And, but you know what? Her background is not something to kumbaga malaki rin talaga yung kanyang, kumbaga major decision po yung nangyari sa kanya why she's into this platform. She's an owner of a traditional business. And, but coming to this platform, hindi naman, may mga product testimonies siya for her family, and that's okay. But she's really here because of the impact na kayang gawin ng platform na ito. So she's an advocate. Can you say advocate? Advocate! You know, when you're an advocate, sabi ni Raymond Tong kanina, kahit 2 oras lang yung tulog mo dito, you can get up back again at 6 a.m. Because what? You have a, what's the word? Purpose. And that's why she's doing. She's here in this platform for hindi lang naman 1 year, hindi 2 years, but 7 long years. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to hear what she has to say tonight? Yes. Our closing speaker for tonight is our Team Elite Phoenix. Wow. From the land, from the Queen of the South. No? Yes, from the Queen of the South, Ma'am Jeanette Bakula.
Good evening! Actually, health is my favorite topic or my favorite subject. You know why? From very start, yung bata pa ako, my father is always telling us what is the most important in life. So, kaya na-register na sa isipan namin na health is very important. But you know what? Sometimes, makalimutan natin how to invest sa health. I'm going to ask you, which do you prefer? Prevention or cure? Prevention! Yes, no? Ang sarap-sarap sabihin na prevention. But sometimes, palagi tayong pumupunta sa Starbucks to have coffee. Ako rin malamigin ako sa pupunta ako ng Starbucks. Pero may konting hitch doon. Bakit? Pag nag-order ako, kasi yung favorite ko is latte. Pag nag-order ako ng latte, huwag full cream, oatmeal. Para ano ba, hindi masyadong acidic yung oatmeal. But still the same, may acid pa din. So, if we are going to invest sa health natin, is that expensive or not? No. But when we're going to say that we are going to purchase one set of Purtier, is that expensive? 170,000? Yes. But when we are going to, if someone will ask you, pag mag-invest ka sa health, expensive? No. Pero pag mag-purchase ka ng one set, is that expensive? Yes. If we are going, remember this, if we are going to invest sa health natin, walang expensive. Why? The day that I bought one set therapy for myself, it's because wala akong health issues. What I had before, yung mukha ko, iba, kung maganda na ako ngayon, you try to imagine kung ano yung mukha ko before. So, siguro napakalaking question, no? So, yun talaga, that's an honest answer. That's an honest story about my beauty. But anyway, so, if we're going to invest 170,000 for our health for one set, may exposure ba of capital? No. Why? Because you are investing for your health. There is no exposure of capital. Sometimes, if we are going to invest our health, nakalimutan natin. Kasi yung nasa isip natin, if I'm going to buy 170,000, that's a capital already. No. It's not a capital. Walang exposure doon ng capital. Kasi investment of our health. But, if you are a very smart person or marunong ka mag-strategize, kung namahalan ka sa 170,000, then you have to go out and share to the world that you have an excellent product. You have a very good product. Just like what I did 2017, February 25, there are only 28 in February. So, February 25, nag-encode ako. A few days, so nag-take agad ako. Every morning, malaki yung salamin namin sa bahay, parang isang ano talaga ng plyboard. So, ano na ako, every morning, wala pa din pagbabago yung mukha ko. To be honest, my sponsor hindi doon siya natulog sa bahay namin. So, nung nag-share siya sa akin, so, makikita niya pa every morning, wala pa din. Sabi ni Lindy do, Jen, parang wala ng pag-asa yung mukha mo. Sabi niya, how could we share Purtier na yung mukha mo wala ng pag-asa? So, take lang din ako ng take 4 capsules a day. On the 7th day or 5th day, nag-subside na siya. Parang sabi ko, parang may pag-asa na to. So, on the 15th day of taking Purtier, lumabas ako. Nakita ako ng friend ko na si Emma. Sabi ni Emma, Jen, nagpabelo ka? Hindi ko alam kung, kasi hindi ako hindi sa tanong niya. Sabi ko, hindi. Sabi ko, siya parang talaga nagpabelo ka. Ikaw talaga, hindi ka nagsabi sa akin na totoo. No, hindi. So the following week naman, nakita ko yung anak niya, si Christine. Tapos yung mga friends ko, sabi, tita, talaga nagpabelo ka. Totoo talaga yung sabi ni Mama. Mahiya ako magsabi, 2017 na, I am using stem cell. Kasi nung araw na yun, pag stem cell, napakamahal. Oh, they are thinking that it's millions. So wala na talaga akong nagawa. So, no, actually, I'm not going, hindi ako pumunta ng belo. Nag-take ako ng stem cell. Sabi niya, wow! Ang yaman-yaman mo! Sabi ko, no, actually, hindi masyadong mahal. It's just only, kasi 2017, only 125,000. And that story of my beauty, yun na ang nagpalaki ng negosyo ko. So, my question ngayon, if you are going to invest 170,000, is that expensive? No. Is that capital? No. Yes, it's not expensive. It's not capital. But you have to be smart. What I did, I can say that I am too smart. Because from that 125, now I have 125 diamond accounts. If you are going to multiply that with 170,000, that's a huge business. Yet the business is not only from the Philippines, but international franchise. We have an international franchise. Actually, sa life natin, equal tayo. Pero bakit may mayayaman? It's because they are smart also. If you have this kind of environment, if you have this kind of system, platform of Railway, product Purtier, why don't you decide today? If you are enrolled already for 1 diamond, or 2 diamonds, or 1 star, do not keep to yourself. Share it to your friends. Share it to the people. Might be you are one of the instruments that you can help them improve their health, at the same time improve their finances.
Yes.
So today, I'm going to challenge each one of us, each one of you. If you are not taking Purtier today, you start taking. Then be smart. If you have now 1 set or 1 diamond account or more than, you start sharing it. If you cannot share to your friends, that means you are not smart. But if you can share it to your friends, you are one of the smarter leader of Railway International. So, even I don't know how to say Tagalog, no? Yung mga taga Manila, no? Parang pag pumunta sila ng Cebu, hindi nito Tagalog yung mga taga Cebu. Pero pag kami pumunta dito, nahihirap-hirapan talaga ako. So, anyway, so tonight, you have to challenge yourself to be healthy and to be more money inside your bank. So thank you so much. This is Jeanette Baculao, Team Elite Phoenix. Wow! Let's give a round of applause to Ma'am Annie Baculao. Wow, grabe. Team Elite Phoenix. Grabe. Tuloy, tinitingin tayo sa mukha niya. Problema, ano kayo nangyari? Kasi kanina habang ini-interview ko siya,
siya, ang hingin-hingin lang niya, tapos ang ganda-ganda ng mata, may kwento pala. Oh. So, kanina, ang challenge ko sa inyo, that I would want your heart and your mind. Okay? So, I want to end with that. No? Sabi ni Ma'am Annie, no? Ma'am Jen, that you need to be smart. You have to think. You really have to think. Nakakatuwa po yung binitawan yung mga words, capital, may ano po ba, may mawawala ba. As a businesswoman, tama. Use your mind. Wala po talaga.